Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and today we are doing another Fatal Friday video. These Fatal Friday videos are where I am playing through Mortal Kombat 1 in the Kombat League, and I try to highlight brutalities and fatalities for various characters. So far, the main character I have been highlighting is Reptile, and today I'm going to get his very last brutality, and that one is the Ready to Pounce brutality. Basically, it is the brutality version of his fully charged overhead pounce. And I am going to be pairing up my Reptile with Serena as the cameo fighter. As you can tell, this is a slightly longer than usual video. I ended up getting a very good set against a Li Mei user. Now, I do not get to see very many people using Li Mei. It was slightly more common when the game first came out, but these days I very rarely see it. Now, when I do see it these days, I instantly start to feel dread, and that is because anyone who has stuck it out with Li Mei this long probably has been using them the entire time, and it's just one of their preferred characters. So they're going to be really familiar with how to use her against most other people. At least that is my assumption. And I feel like I'm correct about that because they generally give me a really good run for my money. Plus, since this is not a character I fight against very often, it is a matchup that I kind of have to relearn on the fly every single time. This might actually be one of my worst matchups just because I don't see it very much. So I just don't retain any sort of familiarity with Li Mei, and I really don't know how to counter what she does, at least I don't remember how to do it.
Disturbing the peace is forbidden.
Take two. Action!
And almost as if it were on cue, as I was talking about being really bad against Li Mei users, this one has taken the first round against me. Now, granted, I didn't play too horribly. I mean, I got into a pretty big life deficit early on, and I managed to bring it back to within about 30% of that person's life, but yeah, they had the advantage almost the entire round. So one of the things that I did not know and that definitely hurt me in this match was what was punishable and what was not. Like I said, I don't see Li Mei very much on the Kombat League, so I didn't really have the knowledge prior to this fight what was safe, what wasn't. And I actually had to go look it up just before I did this video because I could not remember for the life of me. That's how little I see this character. And there are basically only 3 attacks that are super unsafe. Most of them you can do and recover from in time to block without any issue with Li Mei, which is kind of nice. The ironic part about that is that this Li Mei has been throwing out unsafe stuff pretty much the entire fight. Now, I had no way of knowing that because I was not familiar with the matchup prior to this fight, but upon further review, there were a lot of opportunities I just completely missed that could have turned the tide in this early phase of the fight. So the 3 unsafe attacks that I was talking about, they are going to be the backflip energy lion attack that she does, as well as the lunging energy knee that she does, and then there's this combo that does a handstand kick that's also very unsafe. If you find yourself blocking anything that matches that description, go ahead and attack because you're probably going to get your attack off before this person has the opportunity to block. I'll try to point out whenever they occur in this fight, that way you have something to kind of give you a visual example of what I'm talking about. Like right there, that lion energy backflip that she does is completely unsafe on block. So if they try doing that, you block that, go for the most damaging combo that you possibly can because that person is not going to recover from the attack in time in order to stop you. I wish I had realized that sooner, but what can you do? All of this is being said in hindsight, which is a lot easier to say after the fight is over. In fact, this fight happened so long ago that I'm not sure if I even realized that that attack was unsafe in real time. I might have just been getting lucky and not catching on. Kind of hard to say.
Finish him! Li Mei wins.
Well, unfortunately, I lost the very first match of this set, but hey, what can you ask for more than that? We went into the final round with both of us just 1 hit away from death. So competitively speaking, that's about as good as it can get for a single match. The only way it would have been better, of course, if I had somehow pulled that off, but hey, you can't win them all. Let's go ahead and see how the match number 2 goes. Oh, right there, that lunging knee that she does, the one with the pink energy. That's the attack I was talking about, the other one that is also very unsafe. And as you saw, I got a full combo off of it. Not the most damaging combo, mind you, but it was something. I easily could have done something a lot more damaging, but I didn't really realize at the time what I was doing, I think. Plus, she also used combo breaker, so it's kind of hard to say what that combo's final damage would have been without just guessing. After all, I don't even know how I was going to finish that combo. I think I was just trying to get any sort of damage off of a blocked attack from her. If I had known that was unsafe at the time, we're probably looking at closer to 30% damage, but again, that is the wonderful gift of hindsight. And here I obviously just said, fuck it, I don't need my fatal blow, let's just go ahead and guarantee winning this round.
Take 2. Action!
Alright, that was a pretty good rebound in the first match since my loss. That first round went pretty smoothly. Let's see if we can get it to carry over into round number 2. It'd be nice to start getting things on track and just win this match specifically with 2 back-to-back victories. And then there is a combo breaker to kill my momentum, but that's alright. Now that is kind of interesting, and I might have to look something up here. So Li Mei just did a jumping flip kick with the purple or pink energy, and I have always been under the impression that that attack was safe on block. But when this Li Mei used the jumping flip kick, I was able to punish it with Reptile's 1-1 combo into Serena's knives. So that makes me wonder if perhaps I am wrong about that. Then again, the Li Mei user may have just not blocked in time after trying to land that attack, and then I was able to retaliate. In fact, I'm going to step away from the recording for a moment and just go check out Li Mei in practice mode. Okay, yeah, no, I did not realize this, but the jumping flip kick that Li Mei can do is also very unsafe on block. Now, it's not as unsafe as some of her other moves that I've already described so far, but it is something that you can retaliate against. Well, that was not the ready to pounce brutality, that was the pop belly brutality, but hey, I'll take it, a little bit of extra for this video. Being at that close of range, I just kind of wanted to win the fight, and I felt like trying to charge the overhead pounce might take too long, and this person could probably interrupt it and just win the round with a major combo. So I went with something a little bit faster, and the brutality I went with just seemed like it'd be faster, and it worked out for me, so I'll take it. Not to worry though, this is the ready to pounce brutality video. It is coming. I just wanted to make sure that I got at least one match under my belt before we started fishing for that. That way, it increased my chances of winning. It seemed like each of the rounds up to that point had come down to the wire, so I wanted to see if I could wait until I could get a little bit more of a life lead before I tried doing the ready to pounce brutality. That way, if I screwed it up, I at least got multiple attempts. Like right here, if this round had been the final round and I had that huge of a life lead, that would have been absolutely perfect. I would have been throwing out that overhead pounce the entire time because eventually the damn thing is going to land and I'm going to get the brutality. And there it is again, another jumping flip kick and another punish from Reptile. I am genuinely really happy that I figured that out. I feel like that's actually going to come in handy eventually. So yeah, make that 4 really noticeable moves that you can punish. And we'll go ahead and add the jumping flip kick to the list. That is kind of one of the fun things about going back and watching these recordings. Sometimes I notice things that I don't even notice whenever I'm actually playing the game. So at least this gives me the opportunity to take some knowledge away from the recordings and actually apply them to playing the game myself, and then I can use this whenever I try to get other brutalities and fatalities in the future. So yeah, that's kind of a neat benefit to doing these videos. And speaking of these videos, this should be the very last video for a brutality for Reptile. After that, all I have left for Reptile are his fatalities.
Damn.
Surrender to me.
Final take.
And then beyond
Action.
that, I'm still going to use Reptile a little bit, but that's just going to be so I can show off the brutalities and fatalities for both Serena and Frost. So we still have those videos to look forward to. And those were some of the very last videos I did with Reptile before I switched characters to record other material. So these next few Reptile videos after this one should be me when I was the most comfortable with the character and playing him as optimally as I could. After 2 very lengthy combos, this is the kind of life lead that I was hoping to have. So all I need to do now is just spam the overhead pounce from Reptile, make sure it's fully charged, and eventually one of them is going to land and I am going to get this brutality.
I
Reptile wins.
All right, there it is. We got it. We got the ready to pounce brutality. Considering I have not been doing my overhead very much in this fight up to this point, besides just going for the brutality, going for that overhead in general to try winning the round was a pretty good strategy. Because besides that, I really haven't been giving them much of a reason to block high the entire match. But hey, we got 2 wins, we got 2 brutalities, and we are up 2-1. Let's see how this thing goes in match number 4. And it starts off with non-stop ducking and blocking and no one moving forward and taking any chances. Grit your teeth in excitement as both players are very hesitant to make any sort of a decisive action. And then I get very lucky and she tries the jumping flip kick again, to which I am happy to punish for very big damage to give myself a very good advantage early on in this fight. Now with this much of a life lead, I should be pretty safe in saying that I'm going to take this round. Now it's not impossible that this person could come back, I just really don't see it happening with this much of a deficit. So all I really need to do is just throw a few safe things out there and there, she did it. That was the handstand kick I was talking about earlier in the video. That is one of the other unsafe moves that Li Mei can technically do and you can punish without much of an issue. After so much of the fight had gone by, I had not seen it be used at any other point, so I was beginning to think this person was not going to use it at all. And I managed to do Reptile's 1-1-4 combo to punish it, but I don't think I realized that it was unsafe at the time. I think I was just trying to get a hit in. Fortunately, it was just enough to get that round to go in my favor, and I ended up winning it. And it is at moments like this that I definitely see my past self making a mistake. Like I have said plenty up to this point, I didn't really know what was punishable and what wasn't with Li Mei. But I am thinking to myself that I was managing to punish Li Mei every time she used one of her attacks that happened to end with that pink or purple energy. Now generally those are going to be her special attacks, and quite a few of them are in fact punishable, but not all of them. So I think I was going into the rest of the fight with the mentality that if I see something pink or purple glowing, go ahead and attack if you block it. But in the case of that attack a moment ago, that is not one of the punishable attacks, and it also happens to end with that pink glowing energy. So I think that threw me off just a little bit.
Final take. Action.
So at this point I had won 2 out of the needed 3 matches to win the entire set. And in this fight specifically, I had taken 1 round and they had taken 1 round. All I had to do was win this last round and I would win the entire set. Although if they ended up winning it, we would go into a 5th and final match of the set. So as advertised, this was indeed a very close match and a fun one to play through. Well, fun in hindsight anyway. In the moment, these close matches can be a bit stressful, so definitely not as fun in real time. Or at the very least, it is a different kind of fun. I think as a spectator, all these really close matches where both players are down to very low health before it is over and we get a bunch of round 3s or final sets, match 5 out of the set, those scenarios are pretty fun to watch, but maybe not as fun whenever you're the one trying to win. Even so, I'm not exactly going to complain about having really good competition. While it might be better for my win-to-loss ratio, I think I would take a lot of really close matches over a bunch of one-sided victories or losses. At least then you're being challenged and you have to kind of think on your feet, and if you do end up winning, it's a lot more rewarding. And in this fight's case, we are just left wondering who is going to mess up first, me or them. So Li Mei is going to win this match using that fatal blow. And that loss kind of hurts, because you may have seen it. The very last of Serena's knives actually hit Li Mei and knocked her forward. And I did end up seeing that, but I did not react to it nearly fast enough. And because there was a delay in my reaction, the attack I did, just a standing one, it did not hit her before the fatal blow activated, which meant that Li Mei had armor. So had I just been a fraction of a second faster with my reaction time, the match would have been over, and I would have won the set. But instead, Li Mei lands a very clutch fatal blow, and we are going into a 5th and final match of the set. And kicking things off, Li Mei does another lunging knee attack that I do punish, but not for nearly enough damage. I only get a few hits in when really there could have been a lot more. And Li Mei does not waste any time capitalizing on my mistake. I also seem to have forgotten that in this game I can just duck under the projectiles, because almost every single projectile in this game is a high. And if it is high, then all you have to do is duck and it'll go over your head. Although if you block, it still makes contact and it still does some chip damage or block damage. I'm just now realizing that that's been happening. I don't know if it's been happening the entire time or not, but I'm willing to guess it probably has been. And normally I'd say it wouldn't make that big of a damage, but on more than one occasion, this person and myself have been down to extremely low health, and the fight has been dictated by just a few hits. So who knows? Maybe all that block damage accumulated and actually ended up helping them to win some of those earlier matches. And even if that is not the case, it's a shame I didn't recognize that a little bit sooner because there's really no reason to be taking extra damage if you do not need to. And I did see myself trying to jump over the projectiles and trying to get a jump-in kick combo going on, but it just seemed like I was slightly out of range every single time that I attempted it. Just a little bit of difference in distance, and I could have gotten some pretty good combos off of that potentially. So even though Li Mei takes that first round with a good amount of health left over, had I just landed one of those, this probably would have been a much closer first round, but that is just a big what if or what could have been. And it looks like there that I thought the Serena cameo was going to recharge faster than it ended up doing, because whenever I landed those two hits, I think I was calling out Serena, but it wasn't fully charged yet. Had I realized that, I probably would have went for Reptile's Force Ball, but just my timing was a little bit off. Oh, that kind of hurts my soul. Yet another great combo opportunity completely dropped. Li Mei tried that handstand kick again. I got 2 punches in, but didn't summon Serena in time, so I was not able to extend the combo. And what realistically could have been a good amount of damage or forcing them to use their combo breaker since they have full meter just turns into, what, like 8% damage maybe, possibly? Maybe even less? Just, man. So many missed opportunities, it hurts. And now we're in round 3 to end everything, and it is starting off very well for me, landing a big combo. And then Li Mei actually uses combo breaker at the very end. Honestly, probably not the greatest combo breaker usage. At that point, my combo was almost over, so they only really saved themselves about like 3% damage, possibly. So yeah, it probably would have been a little bit better just to go ahead and eat the rest of that combo and then use the combo breaker if I happen to land another one. Especially since, quite frankly, I'm not unpredictable. What I'm doing is pretty consistent. Anytime I land that Serena throwing knife attack, I'm following it up with the combo, so it just would have made sense if I landed that again for them to use combo breaker whenever Serena's knives make contact. But hey, why am I telling them how to play? So far it's been working out pretty good for them after all. Everything comes down to one final round for both of us. So by all means, carry on, Li Mei. This has been a set where I had a lot of missed opportunities, and this is by far the very worst of the missed opportunities. Li Mei did that jumping flip kick, which, as we discussed earlier, is completely unsafe. And on top of that, he missed. With that little of health left, I could have done just about any sort of combo I wanted to, and this game would have been over. But instead, I went with my fatal blow. Now I'm guessing I thought to myself that since she missed and there was a long recovery time based on what had happened earlier in the fight, I would have had enough time to land the fatal blow. That was not the case though. I massively underestimated how long the startup was for that fatal blow attack. Li Mei blocks it, and the game is over. Man, it was really a very good fight. It seemed like every single match towards the end was coming down to the very last hit for both of us. So I can't complain. It was a fantastic matchup. In the end, I just came up a little bit short, but you can't win them all. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this outro kicked off. So yeah, for the very first time, I am posting a video where I did not win the fight. It's not that I have ever had any sort of an issue with showing a video where I do not win, it's just this series is based upon getting either brutalities or fatalities or other kinds of finishers, and to show those off, I have to win. So showing a video where I lost is kind of, well, it just seemed like it would be counterproductive for what I wanted to do with this little series of videos. This is one of the few times when I felt like the fight was good enough to where it did not matter if I lost, because I got the brutality I wanted, I got fantastic competition, and overall, I just thought it would be great material for a video, and watching again all this time later, I stand by that. So yeah, don't expect to see videos of me losing too much since I do have to win to get what I need to make these videos, but this is one of the rare exceptions when that was not the case and everything worked out really well. So yeah, this Fatal Friday video was intended to show off the Ready to Pounce brutality. I'll go ahead and show that again here at the very end of the outro. Hopefully you have enjoyed getting to see that brutality, or hopefully you enjoyed the fight by itself. Just overall, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Again, this is Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.
Brutality. Reptile wins.